Hello, welcome back on another episode of VCTV, which is the Venture Capital TV, and it's from LATOKEN. Today, I've joined a different time today in Asia, in Singapore, because of the topic. This topic is very interesting. It's making a lot of buzz in the industry, in the market, in the crypto industry right now. And I didn't want to miss the chance to speak to people who are very experienced in the field. So today, I'm joined here by my speakers who are a part of somehow related to this. And I know somebody, John, especially John, he's going to talk about it. So, but let's not give out too much now. But very interesting topic: non-fungible tokens, pros and cons. So let me just introduce myself for those who may not know me in terms of our viewers. My name is Sunny Mohanty. I'm the regional director here of LATOKEN, and LATOKEN hosts VCTV. And yeah, it's a platform for education. Besides connecting entrepreneurs and investors, it's also a platform to discuss concepts like these: Bitcoin, NFTs. What are non-fungible tokens? How are they different from fungible tokens? And why should somebody invest in them? Why is making that not? Let's just discuss everything on this panel today. Before that, I would really like to have a round of introduction from each of the speakers today. John Mark is joining us for the very first time on VCTV. So, John, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Let's have a round of introduction about yourself and the company.
Okay, so my name is Jean-Marc Goossens. I'm a lawyer. I'm a blockchain lawyer, so I'm specialized in blockchain technology, artificial intelligence. And in short, I'm also the co-founder of For Blockchainer. It's a social network dedicated to blockchain technology. And I will say also that we are soon launching on LATOKEN platform a new coin, and the name is Arkendai coin.
Yes. Very exciting things coming up soon in the art. Obviously, yes. We know that NFTs are very much. If you talk about NFTs, people visualize immediately art, paintings, right?
Yes, we talk now a lot about NFTs in the art industry, of course, because Bibel sold almost $70 million an NFT. So that's why it's really making the buzz now. But you can have NFTs in art. You can have also fungible tokens in art. So the two are possible, and there are also other. It's not only for art. You have collectible music artwork, but you can also have NFTs for shared ownership. You have many examples, many applications.
Yes, many application use cases of NFTs, and that's the whole point of this topic. Next, I have Anthony live from Australia. Hi, Anthony. Welcome back.
Hi. Yeah, thanks. Basically, I'm based in Australia. I used to be based in Singapore, but after I moved back, just escaped the COVID in 2020, right? So I've not been back to Singapore, and not sure when we can travel yet, but the restriction is still there. Basically, I'm involved in mostly traditional investments, and we are looking into, of course, digital investments as well. Not invested into NFTs yet, although we are closely studying them because there's a lot of interest, and it's getting very hot now. In fact, I just saw yesterday somebody just Jacob and Co. I think they were trying to sell a watch, a digital version of a watch, Tourbillon, and I just can't figure out who would want to buy that watch, because I would prefer the watch on my wrist rather than a digital version. I mean, we'll talk about it later.
I'm sure there are. If somebody can invest the first tweet. That people have different, obviously, likes and dislikes. But yes, let's talk about it more. Very interesting. Fabio, over to you, please.
Hi, Sonny. I'm an economist by training. I have a PhD from the University of Chicago in economics. I worked in international institutions such as the IMF, the European Central Bank for the launch of the euro. Then I moved to Goldman Sachs in London. And afterwards, I moved to the Arabian Peninsula to work for sovereign institutions. In particular, my last experience was with the Oman Investment Fund, where I was the chief economist and chief strategist. Since mid 2019, I've been a partner of Golden Eagle Capital Advisors, which is a US-based investment bank, where we have two divisions, one of asset management, the other one on advisory, and we assist innovative companies to raise funds on the US capital market, in particular the over-the-counter market in New York.
Yes, I know about it. And Fabio, welcome back.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you back on PCTV. And Anthony, after a while, I guess, and John for the first time. You're going to have fun, John. Sorry, I know I can't pronounce the way you pronounce. You'd like me to pronounce your name, first name. So apologies.
So my first name is Jean-Marc.
I'll try that.
Yes, Jean-Marc. Oh, okay, but John is good, Jean is good, everything. GM is good, Jim.
Yeah. Sure, Mark. Perfect. Also today I'm joined by my co-moderator, Amit. Hi, Amit.
Hey,
Hi,
Sonny. Hey, everyone. Hello, Sonny. Hello, everyone. Hello, all the investor parents and everyone around the world. Today is an exciting topic about NFTs. This is just getting started. Whether it is here to stay or is it just another boom, or what are the use cases about it? Let's discuss with Sonny.
Yes, of course. The reason we are excited because we are obviously part of LATOKEN. We are seeing a lot of interest from projects, and they have their NFT. They have launched NFT tokens. They are approaching us for fundraising. So we would like to know. We would like to gather some best practices besides pros and cons. So let's start with John today with you. What are NFTs? What are these non-fungible tokens, and how are they different from fungible tokens?
So yes, so now it's a little bit the lawyer would speak. Sorry about that, but so one of the definition I like is that non-fungible tokens are digital assets that contain identifying information recorded in smart contracts. So and this information makes that each NFT is unique. And as such, they cannot be directly replaced by another token. So I will give you some example. For example, banknotes, they can be exchanged one for another. If I lend you $100, you can give me back another note of $100. You can give me 100 coins of $1 of 5 notes of $20. So it's fungible. So a Bitcoin, for example, is a fungible token. It's exactly the same principle. So in contrary, if the information is unique, then it cannot be. It's really unique. So if you have an art piece and you tokenize that art piece. For example, I have a Bible, I tokenize it, and okay, if I lend you, because it's very expensive now, I don't want to give you, but if I lend you the Bible painting, yeah. I would like to receive exactly the same one, and the unique one. So that's the difference between fungible and non-fungible.
So right. So basically, if I give you $100, I would like to take back $100. Could be in cash or could be in coins, but it has to be $100.
Yes, $100 of yes, sure. Of you can even give me maybe another currency if the rate is correct and if I agree about the rate. But if it is so, a banknote is fungible. It's not unique. An art piece, for example. is unique.
Got it.
So,
What the difference?
So an art piece is non-fungible. It's a good example of a non-fungible NFT.
So I think I'm unique, and if I tokenize myself, I'll be a non-fungible token.
So, but since we are working a few months together, I can confirm that you are non-fungible. That you are unique. In other words, that you are unique. Yes.
Yes. Let's do that. Thank you. I'm trying to.
It's a compliment. So now we know exactly. It's if you say to someone you are non-fungible, it's really a compliment.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John, for that. Anthony, over to you.
I just want to add is you mentioned unique, right? It's also scarce. I mean, you can create as many NFTs as possible, but Sonny just pointed out there's only one Sonny, right? So it's scarce in that sense. So every item or one people art is unique, and there is a unique ID, and that's why that's good about blockchain. You can really trace the owner of it and when it was minted, the history and everything. That also probably helped to prevent thefts and all that. The other thing, Jean, you mentioned the fungible, exchangeable side of things, right? So it's also NFT is non-divisible, so it cannot be divided into smaller units, right? Of course, in the market now, there are more and more people talking about fractional NFTs and all that, but that really is getting into that how we test category, right? If you do it in USA, probably is a bit scary. You got to have an expensive lawyer to help you to vet through that. Apart from that, I think that should be the basic definition of non-fungible tokens in that. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Anthony, for adding that points. Fabio, would you like to say something extra on the definition itself? Like, how do you differentiate that from fungible tokens?
But the non-fungible token essentially is an electronic certificate of property. When you sell a painting or whatever piece of collector items, which can be the first tweet ever written, or something else, an execution by a famous pianist of a certain piece of music. You essentially, with the non-fungible token, create a certificate of authenticity and property, which then can be it's not fungible in the sense that it certifies a unique item, but can be sold. Okay, so whoever bought the first tweet can sell the property at a later stage. So that's essentially something very, very similar to what collectors do now. Okay, you buy a stamp, a rare stamp.
Oh, is it my connection or is it Fabio's connection?
I think, Sonny, you're quite clear.
Okay. Thank you.
This is something quite easy, and it's not a big, doesn't involve particularly complicated issues. But there are other cases in which things are not so simple. When people tokenize real estate, as the painting of the physical painting of a very famous artist, say Van Gogh or Picasso, and in that case they issue something that is a sort of collective property certificate. So you end up having 100th of a painting. What does that mean? Or having 100 of an apartment. That is a different story, because can you sell it? Yes, you can sell it. But if you want to exercise your property right,
I think we've lost Fabio.
so that's the story. And I feel this. Can you hear me now?
We know we lost
Can
the
you hear
major
me?
part. No, Fabio, we lost major part of you. Major part of you in the middle. We can't. Probably you can reboot or maybe change your location while we take questions from other speakers. Is that okay?
Fabio, you can turn off your video if it helps. Sometimes
I think-
the buffering.
Yeah, Fabio, would you like to reboot again and come back, because we can't hear you? Yeah, he's totally frozen. He's gone. Next question I'd like to ask John. Why are people spending massive sums, like millions, on NFTs? What is the reason? Because when ICO started, we saw the same kind of spending into ICOs. Is it again another ICO that we see, or is it something new?
Yeah. It looks a little bit crazy, but I think that everybody now asks, can I make fortune in NFT? That's the problem. So if I come back to Bibel, his art piece, the name is Everydays. It took 13 years. It took 13 years to make it. So it's a very long work. So it's not a new artist coming just for making and selling NFTs. So it's a real artist. So it's a lot of speculation. Like Anthony was saying, he was talking about a digital watch. He was saying, yes, I prefer my analogical watch or so. But for some people, the problem is not if they want a watch, but they just want the watch to be able to sell it more expensive. They just want the money to make money with that tokenized watch. So now, yes, it's a trend. So everything, I think everything has to be nuanced.
So when you said that
there are pros, there are cons. Yeah, excuse me.
No, just talking about the digital watch. So does that mean that I can own the real analog watch if I invest into the digital watch?
So, but I think that Anthony was talking about it's like an art creation from a watch, and so you can
created.
You cannot hold it in. Yeah. Oh, okay. But you can. I suppose you cannot wear it. You cannot hold it in your hand. It's
digital.
It's like a formula from 1 and 0. It's just data. It's just data registered on a blockchain. So, but I will give you another example. So long time ago, before all this buzz about NFTs. I read once that I don't remember. I think it was a Van Gogh. It was a Van Gogh, and it was sold for a huge amount. It was so much, and it was purchased by I remember it was an Asian insurance company.
Okay.
So, but what do you think they are doing with this Van Gogh? Because this Van Gogh is worth, I don't know, maybe billions. They don't keep it in a branch in Tokyo or Nagoya. This Van Gogh must be in a very special safe with humidity control, protection about earthquakes, and nobody can see it. So why they purchase that? They cannot enjoy it. They cannot put this painting on their wall. But it's a little bit the same principle with the NFTs. It's just the ID that you are the owner of the art creation, because there the Van Gogh is so expensive. You cannot, like I said, you cannot put it on your wall. So, but you are the owner, and you can of course make advertising, marketing about that, because everywhere in the world they were talking about that insurance company in Japan, they had enough money, enough funds to buy a Van Gogh. So it made a huge publicity, and now they can make also always they can put a reproduction of that painting on their folders, on their flyers. So that's the reason also why people are buying NFTs. It's just they can say, I'm the owner. So I'm the owner of the Bible. I had 70 million to put in this art piece, and everybody is now talking about me and about my business.
Wow, that's a nice concept, to own something.
I think
So
MetaCoven, right? You mentioned Beeple, the purchaser of Beeple art every day, right? So MetaCoven, the owner came out in the public, right? So recently he kind of explained the rationale behind why he spent $69 million to buy that piece of art. It's not so much of to show off or whatever. He actually has a greater plan because the fellow doesn't really own a car, even a property, but he owns a lot of stuff in the digital virtual world, like land, digital land, and he already collected quite a number of NFTs, art pieces, and all that. It will be on display in the so-called virtual museum and all that. So the main rationale behind when he explained it is to really support real artists who want to showcase their art and all that. And for people who want to enjoy art, will be able to go into the virtual world and enjoy it. So this is a very extreme case of not really for money. I mean, from what I read of his interview, I don't think he's in it for the money because the guy's a billionaire, right? I mean, so spending $69 million is probably a spare change for him. So it's not so much of like the rest of the many cases that we've seen. People tokenize certain items so that they want to make 10x, 100x, 1000x just to make money. But there's no real so-called rationale or logic behind it. On the other hand, there are a lot of people also buying NFTs to try to make a name for themselves. Like, I'm not sure, Jean, were you? I wouldn't buy the first tweet of Jack Dorsey for $2.5 million. It's like,
if we can sell it more later, why not?
Yeah,
it's quite yeah.
If there's a sell
And
price,
someone can.
that's right. John has a point. If there's a sell price and I make a little profit, then why not, right?
Yes, I will buy it for two reasons. First, if I have the money, and secondly, if I'm quite sure, if I'm convinced that I can sell it more expensive later.
Correct. Sorry, Anthony, would you like to continue? Were you saying something?
Oh, yeah. So, of course, I fully agree that NFT is a very good concept. Right now, there are different people have used it for the right purpose. Of course, a few years ago, when we just started to be made known, you remember CryptoKitties that crashed Ethereum network, right? So at that time, we were scoffing at it, obviously. I mean, only probably a handful of people invested into CryptoKitties. And that time was already quite expensive compared to anything else in the market at that time, right? But so over the years, you can see that there are very legitimate companies that are working on this technology. Of course, the so-called creator of ERC standard for this NFTs is Engine. So as a platform, is doing very well, and as a company, it already has a lot of tie-ups. So it shows that this particular segment has a lot of serious players and very good companies building on it. But on the other extreme, you also see something really weird happening. Like yesterday, I saw an announcement from Plato. So it's a game company, right? And they put it the digital so-called simulation, digital version of this platform. They put it up in the form of NFT, and it was opened up for auction, and it was snapped up for $420 million US, just like that. And the weirdest thing is, it was done on the dark web.
Dark web.
Yeah, dark web. Yeah. well, the winner chose to remain anonymous for whatever reason. But 420 million. I mean, Jean, you are a lawyer. Someone who spent $420 million for digital simulation of a game platform, which doesn't really let you play games, right? So you can speculate all you want, but from a legal point of view, I can speculate why certain people want to spend this kind of money.
And remain anonymous, something that regulators are going to probably raise eyebrows.
Could be, yeah. Especially if the transaction was done on the dark web. I don't know why, but it was done.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the announcement.
Coming and money going.
Yeah. So I really hope that this NFT space, that they will continue to develop it and really make it useful. As we can see, some of the features are very useful in terms of ownership, and because it's on blockchain and all that. On the other hand, you already see some of the like vices, certain industry, porn and all, starting to take advantage of this as well, right?
Oh.
So that is probably not a very good development in that sense. So there's a pros and cons there. Probably we are getting into a little bit of the cons, but yeah, I'll just talk about it.
Yeah,
okay. We have to be very transparent about it. I mean, it's very, very much important for the investors or the buyers or the investors in the tokens to understand the cons. There are pros, understand the cons as well. So sorry, John wanted to add something?
So yes, I agree with Anthony. I want to say there are many other possible applications. So for example, copyright, for intellectual property right, for ticketing, for sale and trading of video games, and also non-fungible NFTs could be certifications such for qualification, software licensing, warranties, and even birth and death certificates. So the smart contract of a non-fungible token proves the identity of the recipient, and so this information could be stored in a digital wallet. And then we can access very easily to all this information. So maybe one day we will have like digital wallets like that, containing the proof of every certificate, licenses, assets that we own. So there are many applications.
So does that mean that the investor who invested that money to buy that NFT chooses to remain anonymous? Even though he chooses to remain anonymous, he can be traced.
No, it's not no, it's not. You are talking about the sell on the dark market or so, on the dark web.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, they can have many. Yes, that's maybe for another reason. But that was an example given by Anthony. So maybe he can give me.
Hey John, I want to ask about that legal point of view, right? Can we eventually the NFTs? We tie it into real physical asset, and of course we create a digital version of it, but we can also include that in a will, for example, or for estate management. Is it possible?
Yes, sure. You can put the information then in a wallet. Sure.
Okay, so that can be passed on to when a person passes away, then whoever, maybe the
you can have the will of
the will, right? Yeah,
exactly. You can have also all your medication reports also, so that's very useful also. If you travel and you have an accident in another country, they have immediately access to your personal data, medical personal data.
Oh wow, that's a big advantage. Then it's a big benefit, I would see that way.
Yes.
So sorry, Fabio,
it's a lot of possible application.
Yes. Thank you, John and Anthony. So Fabio, I think so. We're discussing about why so many people are investing so much money into NFTs. What's your insights on that?
But I don't know what I was able to say, or better, what I was able to communicate before I lost you. But I was saying that there are two kinds or various kinds of non-fungible token. The one we're talking here is essentially the non-fungible token, which is a property right for art pieces or other items like the first tweet by Jack Dorsey. So this essentially facilitates life for collectors. You have an electronic certificate which assigns property rights of a certain item to a certain person. Can be bought and sold, as you were saying, can be transferred to your hair. So it's an innovation in the art space, or more generally, it's an innovation for collectors. I would say that there are other applications which I'm more skeptical about. For example, when they tokenize a physical piece of art, like a painting by Picasso, and they issue, I don't know, 100 non-fungible token, which give you the property right over 100 of that painting. That to me sounds somehow weird, because what do you do with that 100 of a painting? You can't just go and carve out a piece of the art. And the same applies for non-fungible tokens linked to real estate property. So people who have bought 100 of a certain apartment or building, it's not clear what they do with it. Of course, if the building is rented, then you might get your part of the rent, or in general the return on that building. But that is pretty much similar to a real estate fund or multi-property. So it's what I was saying was, I'm trying to say is that it's an interesting innovation. There is a lot of interest in the art world. Probably you will see things that how can I say, introduce an innovation in the art world. Think of the Mona Lisa with mustache by Duchamp. Okay, what is that exactly? So it's not that Duchamp took the real painting. He didn't go to the Louvre and drew the mustache on the painting. He took a copy of Mona Lisa and drew the mustache. Now, think of it. It's a fork. So you can take a digital piece of art and you can give it to some other artist for him to add his unique touch. So you have the the equivalent of Mona Lisa with mustache in the digital world, made possible by non-fungible tokens.
Wow, that's why would somebody be interested with Mona Lisa with a mustache? But anyways, that's a different topic altogether.
Well, because that's a much broader issue. It involves what is art, why modern art what modern art is all about. Why would anyone buy a shark in a formal date? Why would anyone buy a bed?
Yeah,
Or why
art.
would anyone buy, I don't know, a wall of old bricks? So art is art. It's
banana art. Remember?
Yeah,
banana
it's
art.
a concept. It's an idea. You buy, for example, there was a famous case of a door with no particular features. Made, I can't remember by whom. I think by Duchamp, and this door when damaged somehow while on an exhibit. So the insurance said, well, I'll buy another door. I'll make another door exactly similar to that one. I mean, what's the problem? And there was a legal dispute that went on for quite a while because the owner said, no, that's the door that you give me is not the door by the guy. So it's in a sense, art is linked to how can I say, the physicity of having been touched by the artist, of having been created by the artist, and it's not the fact that is a unique or irreplaceable piece. It's the aura that the artist gave to it, which constitutes the main value or the value.
Right. I think it's the mindset as well. I have a painting from Mona Lisa. I have her in my house. But does it make a difference if I own an NFT that is actually attached to the real Mona Lisa? Or does that make me happy to have a Mona Lisa physical in my house? That again depends on, as you rightly said, modern art is different to different people. So
people have different preferences. Some guy might like to have the painting of I don't know, Raffaello in a vault to be able to watch it whenever he wants and have exclusive rights of watching it. Other people might want to have the possibility of sharing that experience. Other people want to put the art, at everybody's disposal, like the guy who bought the bubble for $69 million.
exactly.
So it's
sometimes it's difficult to
possibilities
understand.
are manifold.
Yes, it's about the preference. So now I pass the floor to Amit to take further questions. Amit, over to you.
Yes, okay. This reminds me a funny story, a real story. So 2 years ago, I was in Miami, and it was every year at the end of the year is Art Basel, is the biggest art exhibition in the world. And so because Fabio, they were there, so it was an Italian artist. So that's why I want to talk about that. You remind me that with your beautiful Italian accent. So it's an Italian artist. He took a painting and he put a banana on it with a nail, a real banana, and he sold that. And somebody bought that for $120,000. So it's a real banana. So in other words, after 1 week, it's collapsed. Okay, and that's not the end of the story. Then came another Italian artist, and he took the banana and he ate the banana. So he eat the $120,000 banana.
Yes, absolutely.
So, so it's a crazy story. But so now, 2 years later, I'm telling you this story. You can Google. If you Google $120,000 banana, you will find all the story. So, but all the world was talking about that. So that's maybe also that's what I was explaining also why these people are doing it.
No, but how about the self-destroying piece of art that was sold in an auction? So as soon as the
but I think they keep the NFT after, no? I think that they sell the real physical art creation, and so after that only the NFT, the non-fungible token, exists.
Yeah, so that's
it
what I'm saying.
Gives more value to the.
I think the art with the banana is something totally out of this world.
Yeah.
Seriously, and somebody eating that banana after 10 days is even out.
Well, a little earlier than that, because otherwise we would have eaten banana jam.
Crazy,
rotten banana jam. No, but in art, for example, a very famous painting is a canvas with a cut. So the artist Fontana took a canvas, a blank canvas, just made a cut with a knife. That's the piece of art. It's a very famous one, by the way.
Wow, more than
And
that.
I don't know if we are, a family-friendly show, but there is a piece of art called, I use, a polite word, excrement of artist, and it is the real poop of the artist in a jar, in a in a glass jar, which is exposed. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a double question because it's art, but it's also marketing. Because okay, somebody gave $120,000 for a banana that will disappear after 1 week. But can you imagine the price to make a publicity campaign all over the world is much more expensive than $120,000, and the whole world was speaking about this banana. So that can be also the reason. If you have to buy pages in all the newspapers of minutes in advertising in all the TVs of the world, it costs a lot more than $120,000.
Wow.
But in that case, Jean-Marc, I don't know, because what is...
I don't know also, it's a supposition.
Because, if you have a brand, if you say, Coca-Cola bought the banana, then you can say, yes, it was a publicity stint. But I don't even remember the name of the guy who bought it or the name of the guy who ate the banana.
No, but sometimes, but you have also, we don't remember the name.
Is remain unknown. I mean, maybe in the world of art, he has made a splash, but I'm not sure how we can monetize that.
Okay, that's very difficult to say. Okay, we don't remember the name of the buyer of the banana, but he remembered that, he knows his name, and when you want to make a business with someone, he can always, and he take a drink with this guy, and he say, oh yes, 2 years ago, I bought a banana for $120,000. And the other guy will say, wow, $120,000 for a banana? Are you crazy? He said, no, it's just, I have good business, and okay, I can afford this. And okay, that's maybe his way to do his advertising in his
well,
marketing.
but it's a double-edged sword, Jean-Marc, because the other guy can say, what a moron. You are, it's buying
it's the same,
banana.
in sponsoring, I was working in Formula One, and I was looking for sponsors for pilots and teams. And some companies, they were paying, I will try to the camera, for a small badge on a very small badge. They were paying millions of dollars, and nobody can see this badge because the driver is in his car driving so fast. So people were saying, why do you pay $1 million for a badge, a small badge there on the T-shirt, so that nobody can see? I say, no, but I make my own advertising with this.
Exactly. No, that's true. But also because sometimes the pilot is interviewed on TV, and then, I mean, you can sort of detect the logo or whatever. It's not only when the driver is in the car racing that, that...
No, I mean the badges on the combination, they're sold for really a very high amount.
You have a name of the person who ate the banana, David Datuna, an installation.
Yes, that was him. That was him, David Datuna. Yes.
Datuna, an installation and performance artist from Georgia, peeled off the art piece from the wall on a Saturday and ate it, while hundreds of stunned onlookers watched. So he's famous, actually.
Yeah.
And he is far apologetic.
He was just asked to leave there, so.
Sorry, beg your pardon, come again.
He was not charged or sued or whatever. So the museum just, after that, just replaced the banana, just put a tape over it. So it goes to show how easy to install that piece of art. But of course, if I go and install it, it's not going to worth anything. But because the artist who did it, then it's worth 120,000. But of course, if you bring it back to crypto world, right? So like a month ago, like February, CryptoPunks, they sold quite a number of the NFT art. CryptoPunk is, it's just the name of a series of art. Basically, they are pixelated, like clip art kind of thing, like that ape kind of that looks like monkey kind of just a small little image. It sold for like 800 ether. That was about $1.5 million just for that pixelated art. So it is. If you think that the banana is crazy, this probably is even crazy. I mean, my 10-year-old can do better than that. I showed it to my daughter. She said, "Man, I can do better than that." It is in the
I
market.
know, totally. And there's another story. The banana was a part of an exhibit by Italian artist, as you rightly said, Maurizio Catalans at the
Catalan,
art,
yes.
Miami Beach. The piece was titled Comedian. The artist is also known for his 6 million 18-karat gold toilet, which was stolen.
Yeah. No, but he has also put, for example, in the Tate modern a horse, like he hang a horse in the Tate gallery. So
Crazy stuff.
yeah, he's famous for this kind of installations, let's call it. But again, you have, for another weird thing is a painting which, when you look at it from afar, seems like a framed block of some black stuff. Actually, from afar, it looks like a framed black rectangle. When you go closer, these are thousands of flies. So it's a block of thousands of flies. It's by Damien Hirsch. Now, if you tokenize that, would you give the buyer of the NFT one fly in the that composes that piece of art? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
maybe people would buy it. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, Amit, are you there?
I think he's left.
He's left. Okay. So I've got another question. So what advice would you provide to artists or magicians who want to issue their own NFT? John?
It's a good question. I would say wait a little bit because now my turn to do my marketing. We are launching a new platform, a new coin dedicated to art, and that's one of the things we will do. So now, okay, what they have to do? They have to contact professionals. They have a whole team of professionals. They need lawyers, blockchain lawyers, of course, because okay, you can do what you want. We are talking about tokens. We must say the utility. I don't want to be too long about that, but there are utility coins and security tokens and of coins. So it's a huge difference, and legally it's very important difference. So you can do that. If you do that, you have to do it very professionally.
Right.
And then you have to contact a platform, and voila. For example, like we did with LATOKEN, very professional platform, and then you need IT specialists. So it's not only, so you have the one side you have the artist, other side you have the professionals, and they have to work as a team.
Perfect. Anthony, your insights? You there?
Yeah, I guess, of course, there are existing platforms that you can go to, CryptoPunks, so the OpenSea and all that. They will probably have requirements that any artist or even magician, if you want to issue your own NFT. Just now I mentioned, if people want to issue their own NFT as a unique item and it's not fractionalized, that should be quite safe. If it's fractionalized, then it may go into that security token territory, which Jean just mentioned. You would need a lot of legal support for that if you want to do that. But for an individual artist, if you have lots of art pieces that you want to showcase, so just really need to make sure the smart contracts are done properly, right? So the technology side of it is important. But for actually, from an investor point of view, I think they also need to be aware of what are the potential pitfalls as well, right? Because you pay $100 for an item because it's such a volatile market. Tomorrow it may become like $50 or maybe $10, maybe because the market moved to another segment of different types of NFT, for example, right? So that could be also a potential risk for investors as well. So if you are issuing your NFT and you make sure your category is not like going downhill, it should be a trending upwards, and people are still very keen on investing or buying into this category that you're issuing, right?
Right. Thank you, Anthony, for your insights as well. Fabio, over to you.
I would. I know that Jean-Marc will not agree with me, but I would advise people to rush to this market, because now it's a novelty. I don't know. In 2 years, it might be totally inflated, and so there will be more sellers than buyers. Because it's very easy, the barrier to entry are minimal. So you'll have probably a few star of the digital art, and then a very long tail of artists who manage barely to sell their stuff for $10. But there are other areas where probably you can find interest if you're an artist. For example, in music, as I said before, you can sell the execution of a particular piece in classic music, or a very famous piece in rock music, and you might find somebody who is willing to own the property rights to that execution. Or another interesting development could be to sell the right to a concert, to the recording of a concert. For example, I don't know if you have ever heard of the band Grateful Dead. Okay, they were very, very successful in their heydays. They were on tour all around, and had like a following of 40,000 people who would go from town to town where they were having their concert. They would make, I don't know, 20 million, 25 million in revenue. So big stuff. They were second only to the Rolling Stones in terms of live music. So they didn't charge the copyright on their music. Actually, you could plug in directly into the stereo equipment of the concert, and so you could have a perfect recording of the concert. So there are hundreds of copies, hundreds of pirated, but they're not pirated because there was no copyright of their concert. Now, you can do the same, for example, with NFT, and you can sell the rights to 100 people to record that concert particular concert of a very famous artist, I don't know, Beyonce, for example. And that could be another way of taking advantage of this innovation.
Right. Great. We are just a few more minutes before we wrap up the show. A question for John and others as well. John, specifically from the law perspective, what advice would you provide to, first question is, what advice would you provide to collectors who want to purchase NFTs? I'm plugging into one question because we do not have time. And what advice would you provide to lawyers, or you being a lawyer, provide to your clients who are interested in NFTs, considering are NFTs securities or are NFTs commodities? That's another point. Are they commodities, and what are the intellectual property considerations for NFTs? So plugging into one question, John.
So yes, each case is a particular case. So I cannot give a general answer like that. So there can be legal issues from property rights. So normally, for someone who wants to purchase NFT, he should take advice. Certainly, he should take professional advice. But for example, there are some sale were made on Christie's, for example. So Christie's, that company can give you some guarantees because they have experts, and they will certify that everything is legal, is no problem with property rights. But if the other way, you have to take your own advice, certainly for high prices.
Right. Yeah. So basically, collectors, please take advice, especially from lawyers. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anthony, would you like to add something?
Just now we mentioned all these probably famous artists and all that, but not very famous artists, but good artists who may not be able to afford like Christie's and all that. I suggest maybe they can explore either variable or unique one where the platform fee is so cheap, and basically it's democratize this particular platform for people to issue the tokens, and immediately be floated on Uniswap at a low starting market cap. So it's very easy for people or investors to get onto as well. So there is no fee for the artists as well. And there's creation mining, blah, 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 all the perks. So I think that will be useful for not up and coming artists, or not very, not the big artists, right? Not the very famous ones.
Thank you, Anthony. Fabio, would you like to add something before we wrap up the show? Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's. I want just add to the issue of legal rights. So I'm not sure, because I'm not a lawyer, how this NFT will be treated in case of controversy. For example, if somebody replicates exactly a piece of art and sells it and says, no, this is the real one, this is the real NFT linked to a particular creation. Who is going to decide? Who can judge which one is the real one? Whether the property rights of the newcomer is not doesn't have legal protection. So which court will decide? What if a court will decide in one direction, say in Sydney, and another court will decide in the opposite direction in New York? So I think these are the questions in my mind. Not sure whether they have been answered or can be answered.
We need another episode and many other episodes of VCTV to get all those answers from you all. So yeah, just end of the show now. I think I learned a lot from all three of you speakers today, and I'm going to learn more by hosting shows like this on VCTV, where a lot of NFT sessions coming up. John, Fabio, Anthony, I would love to have you on the show too, so that our audience who are actually looking to invest or the artists are looking to do a NFT, they should know what exactly they need to do. It's a very important aspect of an NFT discussion as well. So yeah, having said that, I'll be live soon in another 30 minutes on another episode about investments in Southeast Asia. So that's very interesting as well. So do tune in to watch that. John, you are in Thailand. I'm in Singapore. So we're going to talk about investments in Southeast Asia. Till then, keep watching VCTV and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Sunny.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.